Okay, Randy on the dock, make sure you kick that nose way out. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, green flags on the course. Starter button's not working. 24-volt power on.
21 is coming out with you to your right.
All of a sudden, damn it, you just gave me a heart attack. You're good to go straight out. Kelly's turning to the right a little bit, so you can turn to your right if you need to.
As we head up back on the course, it's time for Heat 3B from Par Lumber. That is where the builders go. Par Lumber in Pasco. The lineup, the 1, Jimmy Shane, Home Street Bank. The 21, Brian Perkins. Darryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance, along with the 440 Bucket List Racing, Dustin Eccles, and 1918, it's the Oberto in its anniversary year, Cal Phipps. Formerly the 27, it is the shiny boat out there on the back stretch with the Oberto colors. Top end of the course, it's the 1 coming into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Perkins is on the front stretch in the 21. And then you see the bright orange boat on the back stretch. That would be the 440 with Dustin Eccles.
The 21 slowing down, trying to time a good start.
He's taking.
Brian might be a touch early. Stay 85.
Brian Perkins has had a nice weekend.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see if he's got the horsepower to compete with the Miss Home Street Bank, but driving ability, it's pretty close. I mean, Brian Perkins has had a really good weekend.
They were giving out warnings in that heat, so really watch your 85.
More speed than I saw out of that boat down in Alabama about a month ago. So he's down here first. He's on the inside. Jay Shane is just behind him and outside. They're coming right to Kevin. Got 3 of our 4 boats. Kevin right in front of him.
Absolutely. It's Perkins exit Tire Factory Turn 2. I waited to see what this 1918 has. I was just trying to check to see if it had run against Jimmy Shane, and I don't think it has yet this weekend. So I kind of want to see how it does. I think JFK acquitted it himself well this last heat against one of the favorites in Andrew Tate. And I want to see what this 1918 has for the 1.
Oh, again, question is lane position and then lane conditions as we get deeper into the 4 lane.
See your strobe. Pick it up a little bit.
Nick, I'm going 90.
Your strobe just came on.
Their lane, they got through clean. But Kevin, that's something for you to watch, and I know you've got an outstanding view.
Nick, it's Cal.
Cal's just right up to your hip now. He's about a boat length back. Don't go wide. Stay right in your lane. You're doing fine on time. You're great on time.
2 minutes, Mark.
Special thanks to Freedom Rentals over there for our tower in turn number 2, Tire Factory turn 2, and of course Farmers Exchange providing the Echo Bearcat ultra quiet generator. Couldn't do it without that.
We're seeing the 440, the Orange Boat Bucket List Racing, trying to make a move to come up with the 3 in front of him. But,
lane number 1's Brian Perkins in the 21. Lane 2, as it sits right now, is Shane in the Home Street Bank. Lane 3 would be the 1918 Oberto, and then you've got Dustin Eccles outside in lane number 4 coming down that front stretch.
Cal's about 4 boats back. He's right on your hip. That's still Brian inside you.
Cal Phipps in 3, and not surprisingly, Dustin Eccles takes the smaller boat, the 440, way to the outside with some boat speed. With 1:15 to go, Kevin, Tire Factory turn 2 right in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. All 3 boats right next to each other at Tire Factory turn 2. Eccles, as he did yesterday, tries to get out front and have a little bit of a lead as he gets into the start-finish line for the beginning. I was trying to see if any of the boats might cut across down to the bottom end of the course here. Maybe they see if they could sneak lane 1 or lane 2 away from either of those guys, but it looks like the 1918 and even Jimmy Shane are content where they're at.
You have to say, Brad, in the last 2 heats for Par Lumber here, 3A and now in 3B, this may be the friendliest milling period we've ever seen.
Yeah, for both of these heats, and you're right. And Kevin, you're talking about cutting the course. on that last time down, maybe jumping to the inside. They had too much time. That wouldn't have worked. You would have found yourself maybe in lane 1.
Watch,
but way too early, 25 seconds, Michael.
Watch Cal Phipps. He is laying back so he can have some more boat speed, maybe a little more momentum at the start-finish line if he times it out correctly.
Well, last heat, Michael, we saw that the fastest boat had lane 2. And it looks like that's going to be the case now. At the home street, it's going to have number 2.
Lane number 1, it's Brian Perkins in the 21. Lane number 2 is the home street bank with Jimmy Shane. Lane 3, the Oberto with Cal Phipps. Lane 4, Dustin Eccles on the outside. And it is a clean start from what we see. And it looks like the Oberto is losing speed down the front stretch. It's Jimmy Shane leading as they head into West Coast Auto Dealers turn number 1.
Jimmy Shane has jumped out on everybody. He's almost got a rooster tail. Now he's got to stay in lane 2, Kevin.
Absolutely. Right now he does hold on to that rooster tail lead. Perkins on the inside, bouncing around as is the Oberto with Eccles in behind. Right now it's about a rooster tail a second and a rooster tail a third as they head down the back stretch.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane with a wonderful start, and he is really flexing his muscle with the home street bank U1 down the front, the back stretch with a rooster tail lead over Perkins.
My wing is stuck. My wing is stuck. Up or down? Stuck in the down position. It won't go all the way up. Just ride where you are, do what you're comfortable with, get the points.
There's turn number 4 onto the front stretch across the start-finish line to complete lap number 1 in Heat 3B, thanks to Par Lumber. Perkins is flying the boat out of the water. He's pretty loose, but he cannot catch Jimmy Shane coming down the front stretch into West Coast Auto Dealers turn number 1.
Yeah, Shane's down here, still got that full rooster tail. What I am surprised about here now is the fact that Perkins is driving away from Cal Phipps. Kevin.
Absolutely. Perkins looking great. Hitting a little bit of the chop being put out by the 1. Pulls with it a rooster tail before Shane puts the gas down the backstretch. The Oberto really struggling and hitting some rough water down here at Tire Factory turn 2 as he's plenty of boat lengths behind.
So a rooster tail and a half lead now for Jimmy Shane heading up the backstretch into You Pull It Auto Parts turn number 3. Entering the turn now, and Perkins falling back a little bit more. Jimmy Shane has just got too much to offer in the home street bank. Perkins, another great turn to the top end of the course, but there is no way he's going to eat up any of that lead from Jimmy Shane. And Shane across the start and finish line, and he is not pushing it too hard. He doesn't have to as he heads down the front stretch into West Coast Auto Dealers turn number 1.
Coming down here, Jimmy Shane got a very comfortable lead. He's flying the boat a little bit. He's not running hard right now. He's given Mr. Perkins a carload of room as he comes to Kevin, but there's a lot of room, and I'll tell you what, Perkins is still driving hard, staying tight on the buoy row, and Phipps, as you said, Kevin, he is driving in that slop out in lane 3.
Yeah, I think that's what Cal's running into down here is by the time he gets into Tire Factory turn 2, there is just a lot of ugliness as he bounces the boat through the turn and heads down the backstretch. It looks like it's Shane's race to win.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's so much separation between the 4 boats, it's almost like everybody's kind of content on how they'll finish the race. Although Perkins is coming up.
Perkins isn't quitting.
No, he's not.
Not quitting at all, and he'll get inside the rooster tail lead of Jimmy Shane by the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 at the top end of the course, but then Shane just kind of feathers the throttle, feathers the canard, and heads down the front stretch and starts to pull away again. White flag is out for our final lap, coming up with Jimmy Shane in 3B from Par Lumber with the lead by 2 rooster tails into West Coast Auto Dealers turn number 1.
Kevin, bring our leader through the lower corner for the last time. It is Jimmy Shane, the U1, Miss Home Street.
Absolutely.
Still got him by 2.
Right now, real smooth heading around Tire Factory turn 2. Perkins, though, he's hanging with him as much as he can.
Plus rooster tails on him, 1.5, still charging.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane putting it down a little bit now. Whoa. 2 rooster tail lead. Dustin Eccles getting loose coming across the Griggs Ace Hardware start-finish line. Look at him trap air under that bright orange.
He was walking the sponsors across the start and finish.
So at the top end of the course, You Pull It Auto Parts turn 3 into Buffalo Brothers turn 4. It is your race leader in 3B from Par Lumber. That's Jimmy Shane in the 1, the home street bank. Perkins at the exit pin now with a rooster tail lead coming across Griggs Ace Hardware start finish line. The checkered flag for Jimmy Shane in the 1, home street. Second place, Brian Perkins in the Payne West Insurance And a third place finish will be Cal Phipps in the 1918 Oberto on the backstretch. Dustin Eccles still needs to negotiate turns 3 and 4 and bring it around to take fourth place points in Heat 3B. Brought to you by Par Lumber, where the builders go in Pasco. So I don't know if it was a big surprise. I think it was a big surprise maybe that Jimmy Shane was so willing to let lane 1 go, but he obviously in the end didn't need it.
Yeah, well, he knew that he knows the equipment that he's driving and that he doesn't necessarily need lane 1 in this particular field. Now, you might throw an Andrew Tate or a JMK in there, or
could be a different story.
Yeah, you might want to fight for lane 1 a little bit harder, as the 440 does come across the start-finish line to pick up fourth place points. Again, once we get all that sorted out, J. Michael Kelly undoubtedly will make a move on the 440. We'll see if he can, points-wise, eke up into that 6th spot. We still have another Heat 4A and 4B to go.